Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel and I'm here for Jillibean Soup today. I wanted to show you how I used the Jillibean Soup Happy Hues paint to create this card background and how I then used some of the little party bags to turn it into a gift card holder. So I have some Happy Hues, which is the acrylics paints by Jillibean Soup. They come in a great array of Jillibean colors. I have a Ranger Tim Holtz blending tool. I love this little circular foam tool. I use it for inks, I use it for paints, pretty much everything. So I'm going to show you how to create bokeh with it here. And I have 3 different foams, one for each of the colors that I'm going to use. I have one of these tiny little party bags. These are vellum bags. They're embellishments for Jillibean Soup, but you can use them to create gift card holders like we're going to do here. And similarly to this card, we're going to use some of the adhesive stickers. There are self-adhesive sequins that you can apply to pretty much any paper crafting or other project that you want, and I love those. I'm also going to use this roll of craft tape from the Soup Staples collection, and that's how we're going to put the card together. So first we're going to open up our first color of Happy Hues, and the great thing about these paints is that they have that flip top, so you don't have a dauber, but I tend to not like the daubers because if they get some paint on them and dried out, they tend not to work as well. So you just need a little bit of paint. You don't need a whole ton. Save it for your other bigger projects. This really just takes a tiny bit. And then I'm going to put the paint blender into the paint and just make sure that the entire circular blender is covered with paint. Then I'm going to dab it off on my craft mat. I'm using that craft mat there so that I can use it as my palette. And once I dab off, then I'm going to dot some color onto my card panel. My card panel is the traditional 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it is just white cardstock. So now that I have the first color put down, that pretty mint color, I'm going to go ahead with the yellow. I'm just going to shake it up first, just make sure it's nice and mixed. And then again, just put a little bit down on my craft mat and use a new foam on the blender and just dot some more color on there. And I've left some open spaces because I did want to put that third color in, which is that pretty gray. So I'm going to do the same exact thing, and I'm just cleaning off the paint in between with a baby wipe just so that I don't have any weird colors made by blending the colors together by accident. This one I tapped off 3 times. You can see that because it is a darker color and I really wanted to keep this light. So now that we have our card panel pretty much done with the bokeh, you can see that I used a heat tool and I did warp it a little bit when I dried it. It's okay, since it's just the panel, we can glue it down to the card base and it will be absolutely fine. So I'm taking that Soup Staples craft tape and I'm applying it in a slightly larger piece to the card panel so that I can wrap it behind. That's the great thing about working with a panel rather than right on the card, is you can do fun things like that, wrap washi or tape around and not see the edges of the card. So the other thing that I did on the other card was to use a little bit of Wink of Stella on the vellum bag. It just creates a little glitter and shine, and I think it's fun. I did also stamp on the other card as well, but this one I think I'm just going to use the hello sentiment that is on the bag. Then I'm going to take my adhesive sequins from Jillibean Soup and I'm going to add a little bit of aqua to the mint dots, a little bit of silver to the gray dots, and a few yellow sequins to the yellow dots. I just think this is just a fun touch and it's super easy since the adhesive is already applied. I can't tell you how much time that saves and how much fun it is to just grab and go with your sequins rather than having to glue them down. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is apply the little bag as the gift card holder to the front of the card. And I'm going to do that with a Thermoweb 3D Zot so that it kind of stands up from the card a little bit. I'm just going to place one of the Zots behind the little pot there. I've added some twine and I realized that I want to add a little something extra. So I'm taking some Jillibean Soup wood veneer and using some tiny little Thermoweb Zots to apply those as well. And so once everything is all done on the panel, then I'm just ready to apply it to the card base. I'm using lots of Thermoweb Memory Runner XL. This way I can straighten out the panel by having lots of adhesive applied. And that's it. That's all you have to do to create that fun bokeh background and gift card holder on your cards. I hope you'll try it out, and thanks so much for stopping by.